thrilled. What a great birthday present. A running engine, nice and cool, no leaks. Pretty awesome. All right, so we are in for kind of shifting gears on projects. Let's take a look at what we're going to dive into next. So, when we bought this boat, she had been sailed around the world 3 times by the original owners. So we bought her from the original owners. They sailed around the world 3 times, and they mainly stayed in colder climates, and they did not go through any canals, meaning like they didn't go through the Panama Canal, they didn't go through Suez Canal. They went south and they went north, so it's pretty impressive. But as a result of that, we can see how some of the wood on the boat was exposed to some condensation. So when it's warmer on the inside and colder on the outside, we're going to get condensation in places. So let me share with you what that looks like. So we're looking here, this is the starboard side cabin top. So you can see this discoloration in the wood around this fitting. Same there, same there. So what happens is that basically this fitting is going to be a different temperature than the rest of this stuff around it. And then of course the air in the boat is warmer compared to the air outside the boat. And so what happens is, because this will generally even be colder than the wood, and then the transfer of moisture with the condensation will accumulate on this fitting and then just spread out into the wood, seep out into the wood, or even drip down. And so that's what we're seeing. Also, good evidence of this is places like that along the hull. So you see that there, similar concept. This got moist, and then that moisture translated into the wood. So, what does that mean for us? Well, we got to fix that. It is cosmetic. It's not structural. But this is our forever boat, and we want it to look nice. And honestly, too, behind it, there could be a little bit of mold still in there. Yeah, that's true. So, taking it off and cleaning it is going to be the right thing to do. But really, some of this needs to be replaced. Like this trim here, completely delaminated, basically dead. But then this one here, that's solid wood, that can be sanded and trimmed and restained. Same with this one. I mean, it's never going to be perfect, but we can certainly make it better. So, yeah, trim. We're going to start working on the trim. We're also going to start working on the ceiling, these panels. So we kind of have already started by default. So this is the bottom of the sandwich construction of the deck, and then we have this panel here. So we've got panels. I mean, this one's already kind of coming apart, and you can see there's mold up in here. Panel. Ceiling panel here. This one's basically about to fall down, so you gotta pull that down. These panels over here are gonna come down. This one's gonna come down. So all these panels are gonna come, all these ceiling panels are gonna come down, and the plan is to, if there's holes in them that we want to replace. So like, for example, we've got a hole like here. See that? We'll fill that. And then this color we really don't like. I know. We're bougie like that. We do like more of a white color, like what we've got going on in the quarter cabinet here. So these are gonna come down. They're gonna be cleaned because they're also really gross too. See all this black stuff that's in these little cracks? I mean, it's not cracks, it's the design of this fabric. Yeah, it's like a vinyl fabric on a wood back. So all of that needs to be cleaned and then painted on both sides. And then any holes will be patched. Any scratches like this here will be patched. So that's the plan. Pulling down the trim, labeling it, and we'll go through our process for labeling it. Measuring it, and I'll explain why that's important too. And then cataloging it and putting a system together so that we know how it goes back. So we'll go through all that process as well. But yeah, it's gonna be a big one, but it's the perfect time to do it because while we're not here aboard full time, now's the time to pull that down. And I've been really excited to pull this chart thing down. This thing, look how far it hangs down, and I don't have that much headroom. I mean, enough in this boat. I have enough headroom in this boat. That's one of the reasons we bought it. But this stupid chart thing, and the way it hangs down, and it just gets in the way. Plus, we don't need all these, like, this is like 5 pounds of, no, it's probably more than that. It's like 10 pounds of paper charts just hanging in there. Plus, wouldn't that be really nice if there was a flat screen TV that folded down from right here, and then you could see it from the settee, from the galley, from the quarter cabin. Heck, you could even see it from the cockpit if you want, because it will maybe swivel. So maybe we'll do that too. Who knows? The world's our oyster. So you can see over here too, we already had to pull this panel down because I was doing some electrical work up in here. So these will come down, the light will come down, that light will come down. These handles will have to come down because they actually hold up the panel here. So it is kind of a big job, but it needs to be done. If we see any leaks, or where we know there are leaks, like for example, that is leaking. This is the stovepipe exhaust. There used to be a diesel heater right here, and the stovepipe came up and the exhaust went out that, but it's clearly leaking because look at this wood, and that water just basically destroyed this whole thing. Came over there, and then, you know, that's all falling down. So there's definitely gonna be some work to be done with deck leaks as well. But yeah, I'm excited. It's definitely a long time coming to get this done, and it's gonna look so amazing when it's done. It's gonna be a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of effort, and a lot of sanding and scrubbing and a lot of paint and a lot of primer, and it's gonna be a lot, but we know that this is also a yacht of love, and that's what we got to do, make her for our forever boat. So I'm excited. We'll bring you guys along, we'll keep you updated, and we'll show you the progress as we go. All right, here we are. We've got this first one down. So clearly evidence of a water leak. And you can actually see the original notes that the manufacturer wrote. And that's pretty neat. Just right there in pencil for some sucker like me to pull this down and read it 40 years later. But let's take a look at this panel. On the surface, it looks really good. Like there's no holes other than the holes to mount it. Like there's no holes that we need to repair. The material itself on the other side is, you know, in really good shape. But when you take a closer look, like, you have a rusty staple there, a bunch of rust and stuff up here. This is just like metal corrosion from the fitting that was up against. But I don't like how rusty these staples are. So that'll be something to consider is, do we actually need to maybe just add some staples or replace the actual fabric on it? I don't know. We'll see. We'll think about that. But I wanted to show you the board. I mean, it's pretty big. Look how big it is. It's 50 inches by 51 inches by 24 inches. And then we're labeling this. So this will be number 1. And then each one will have a sheet with it, with the number, where it goes, and then how many screws it takes to mount it up, and a general diagram with measurements, and then blocks. 5 blocks. So there's 4 short screws, 1 long screw. 4 plus 1 is 5 blocks. So the blocks are basically where we're going to reinforce how this thing is screwed into the deck. Let me show you. So, actually, let me bring my nifty little sandwich diagram for you guys. Okay. So, up here, that panel goes in this spot, right here. And the way it's screwed in is it's screwed in directly to the bottom side of the sandwich construction. And you can actually see how that one's all dark and gross looking? This is the one that was leaking and caused the discoloration on the panel. But these are screwed in directly into the sandwich construction. So if you go too far with your screws, you're screwed. Meaning that you'll penetrate the other side of the sandwich construction and cause a leak. And that's exactly what happened with this one. Whenever someone was drilling this up, they went too far and they broke through the sandwich construction. So here's basically the sandwich, right? So this part is what we're looking at right here. It even looks the same, right? Then there's balsa core, and then this is the deck. And so the screw, the way it's mounted up right now, it'll go through the bottom part of the sandwich and just, you know, embed itself here in the balsa core. I don't like that for a couple main reasons. One, you could have this situation where you go too far and you get up in there. 2, you are drilling into your balsa, so you are opening up even if you don't go all the way through like this one, you still are opening a hole in your balsa, and moisture just floating around in the air will get into there. And then balsa's not, I mean, it's fine for the core material, but it's not supposed to be holding screws, in my opinion. So what I mean by blocks is I'm gonna patch these holes and then mount a little bit of a HDPE plastic block, like right there, and that's going to be the majority of what we screw into. So it'll be nice and secure, and hopefully we can not screw so far that we go into that. So that's the plan for how we're going to get these things mounted back up. Also, we're going to insulate too. So I'm going to fix all the holes, and then once those are fixed, I'm going to come back in here with some insulation, probably about the same thickness as what's already here, but nice newer stuff that's more advanced than just this foam. So we're going to come back in here and insulate all of this, all in there, and then put the panel back up. So that's the plan. So now it's just about taking each panel down, taking inventory, And yeah, just repeating that process until we got them all pulled down. Watching out for leaks, of course, and kind of marking what I know needs to be fixed. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I keep telling myself that. Because it is gonna be great. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Alright, we'll give you guys an update as we keep going, as we always do. Alright, day 2 of taking down ceiling panels, and gonna keep doing what we've been doing. So let's see, yesterday we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 panels, and that was all in the V-berth up there. So now we're just gonna work our way back and keep going. Okay, so here's my idea for improvement. Pretend this is a boat, the shape of a boat. This is the front pointy part, and this is the aft part. So I'm basically, because I have each one of these detail sheets numbered, and each one of the panels has a number on it too, I figured I might as well draw a layout of the boat. Well, pretend this is a layout of the boat, and then just mark on here where the panels were, and obviously general shape here too. So that way, when we're coming back and saying, okay, well, where exactly did that panel go? We don't really have to read our detailed sheets, because I do have notes on each of these too. Directly over V-berth, directly over V-berth. So, I mean, we could read the notes, but this will just be a quicker way to just jump in, reference it. Maybe we're here with multiple people putting panels up and kind of have like an assembly line going. So it's just really quick, easy reference. So yeah, that was my one area of improvement that I could think of. So as I pull them down and create a sheet, I will also write them down on our diagram here too. So that's going to be the process. I'm predicting it now. This is probably going to be these grab handles, and how they were secured to the deck is probably going to result in the most repair that we're going to have to do in this whole project so far. So here's an interesting thing. So one, I mean, you guys know how I love new hardware, so these are all really bad. They're not worthy of saving. So these bolts, or I guess they're like lag screws, they were drilled down through the deck into each one of these points here, and they weren't embedded properly, so we have potential damage in the core material up here, but then also these fasteners are pretty much rusted out for the most part, so those will get replaced. But then check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 starboard saloon port. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but then 1 hole, 2 hole, 3 hole, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've only pulled out 6 fasteners. Where's the 7? And then I go up here on the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's a nub of a fastener sticking through. So the corrosion is so bad here because these weren't embedded properly. that the fastener basically just rusted away, or in this case, it's kind of just broken off right in. So we're here with David doing taking down some ceiling panels, and we just got this one down over the galley. And then look what we just discovered. That is a hole to the outside of the boat. I'm at a loss.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss. Like, that hole has been there the whole time we've owned this boat. And I guess I've never noticed a leak.
But the board shows it.
Oh, yeah, but the board is rotten to crap, so maybe the leak went to the board and then just soaked into the board and dried out. I don't know. But yeah, that was a fun surprise. We're definitely got to patch that hole in our boat.